If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More college basketball here. Sean Farnham joins the program from ESPN. Does a great job on the network every year with this sport, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Sean, a pleasure talking to you today. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Doing great. How are you guys doing today?
Doing really well. This gauntlet continues tonight for Alabama, fresh off a win at home against Kentucky, but it's been mean over the last month, and it continues to be that way down the stretch. They're playing like top 20, top 25 teams every single night. Their power rating's super high, so they're a big favorite like tonight. They're 8.5. At what point, though, does that catch up with a team, right, when they just have to play machine after machine after machine every single game?
You know, we go through this kind of conversation every time of the year we get here, you know, whether it's been the Big 12, who has recently, leading up to this year, I think it was like 10 out of the last 12 years, had been the number one ranked conference in all of college basketball. And we'd say, okay, well, what's the gauntlet do for Baylor? What's the gauntlet do against Kansas? And then we see how they perform in the NCAA tournament. I think it's a wait and see what the gauntlet that is the SEC, what that will mean for Alabama when they get to the NCAA tournament. But I am not one that jumped off the Alabama Final Four train because they lost to Auburn at home and then went on the road and lost to Missouri. That didn't scare me. Mm-hmm. I think when you look at this team and you look at the makeup of this team, when they get into the NCAA tournament, they're going to be a problem for somebody. And, you know, you look down the stretch here, they've got the game against Mississippi State tonight, and then they play 3 top 5 teams to get to the SEC tournament. I'm not worried about them as far as, you know, the health-wise, you know, that's always a concern heading in to the NCAA tournament, but I'm not like overly concerned. I mean, were we concerned last year when they lost 4 out of their final 6 games, gave up 105 points to Florida, gave up 102 the second time they played Florida and got swept by the Gators? Did we all of a sudden get like super concerned about them? Probably not. And all they did was just go run through the NCAA tournament and play excessively well. So I think the experience of this team, I think Mark Sears and his ability to score, his understanding of leadership and what's going to be asked of him, this is an Alabama team that will be fine when it gets when their name pops up on Selection Sunday, and is one of, you know, 8, 9 teams in college basketball that you really look at and say they could be a Final Four team.
Very good answer. You're going to be at the Big 12 conference tournament. Is this getting enough attention that Houston could go 19-1 in league?
No. I think this is one of Kelvin Sampson's best coaching jobs he's ever had, and he's had some great years. You know, and remember when they made the transition a season ago, and everybody's like, you know, they're coming from the American. We're going to, you know, the Big 12 is going to be way different. Mm-hmm. How'd they do? Yeah, they just won the regular season title, and here we are again. They've already locked up at least a share of the regular season title this year in the Big 12. And to do it after losing Jamal Shead. And we saw, no one can tell me that, by the way, if Jamal Shead was healthy in the NCAA tournament last year, that Houston might not have been a team that could have finished off this entire thing last year. Yep. They were that good. But Shead goes out with the injury, and his level of importance at the point guard position, in particular in Coach Sampson's system, where you rely so much on the point guard, that was glaring. Then you go get Uzan this year from Oklahoma, the transfer from Oklahoma. You start the season 4-3. They were up double digits on Alabama. They were up double digits in the second half on Auburn. They end up losing both those games, and everybody's kind of like jumping off the Houston bandwagon. I was there that following week after the Players Era Invitational in that first week of December, and Coach Sampson was on Uzan as much as I've ever seen him on any player, talking about his competitiveness, challenging him at every single possession, offensively, defensively, and just, it's not good enough. This doesn't work here. You're not getting this. You don't understand. And now you watch him play, and very easily he could be the reason why they could end up winning the national championship when this thing is all said and done. And his numbers keep getting better and better throughout the course of the year. He values the basketball. He's averaging almost 5 assists per game. And the transformation of who he is as a player. He's averaging more points than he did at Oklahoma. He's averaging more assists. He's averaging fewer turnovers. He's shooting the ball better, almost 43% from beyond the arc. Big-time game last night against Texas Tech where he had 22 points. I think this is a Houston team that, unlike previous Houston teams where we look at and say, okay, they go through some lulls offensively, they don't really go through too many lulls offensively right now. They've got multiple shooters out on the floor at all points in time. Everybody has a defined role, and they know what's expected of them, and they play to that role every single night.
Another great answer. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Sean Farnham from ESPN, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. The ceiling this year for Rick Pitino and St. John's, assuming they get like in that 3-4 number, of course, is all going to come down to matchups and who's going to be in their bracket. But overall, and they probably played their best game of the entire year this last weekend against UConn. They were awesome. If they're hitting shots like that, who the hell knows how far they're going to go. But can you see them as a legit like Final Four team as well?
For sure. I mean, if they hit shots, that's the big question mark, right? Can they hit shots? They are disruptive, and their rotations are so good at the defensive end of the floor. They rebound the ball with a level of aggression that you need to have. I think the St. John's team is very well positioned to make a substantial run in the NCAA tournament. They are Final Four good right now. The schedule coming up for them works really well. They've passed the UConn hurdle now twice. They've taken care of business against Creighton. They split those 2 games that they had against them. It's smooth sailing ahead for them until they get to that Marquette game, the final game of the regular season for them. But what I love is just the competitive nature of this team. They embody, they often say you are who your coach is. This team has that Pitino grit to them. And Kadari Richmond has been absolutely sensational with his ability to impact the game, whether it's scoring, whether it's assists, whether he's being active and getting steals. Every single game, he is making his presence felt. And to me, I think he's just been outstanding. And I think this is a team that if you're looking, again, we talk very select group of teams that kind of have that makeup of being so efficient at the defensive end and offensively what you want. They need to get a little bit tighter at the offensive end as far as I'm concerned to have that national championship criteria. But certainly they make up for it defensively and their second chance points and how they rebound the basketball.
They play tonight. They're a 7-point favorite. You've had them many times. What do you think of Gonzaga, who got as high as number 3 in the country, and now your colleague Joe Lunardi has them a 9 seed?
Yeah, I think this is a team that has struggled with consistencies. I think unlike many Gonzaga teams that we've seen in the past, Mark Few, when he looks down the bench, has no clue what he's getting out of certain players that he needs to rely on. And because of that, you have some inconsistencies. They do not shoot the ball nearly as well as we've seen other Gonzaga teams shoot it in recent memory. Here's the thing, though. You look at their losses. They're almost all single-digit losses. They're in every single game. It's 1 or 2 possessions here or there. The first St. Mary's game falls into that that slice. You look at the loss to Santa Clara the last time they played. Santa Clara hit, I think, 18 3-point shots. Now, Santa Clara, for those that are listening to your program that may not know, may not watch the Broncos, just made 23 3-pointers on the road against Washington State and shot 61% doing so. Just think about that, though. It's like 23 3-pointers on the road is unheard of.
Yeah.
And then to do it at a 61% clip, they got dudes that could really shoot the ball. Herb Sendek's team is well organized and has a clear understanding. For Gonzaga, you're looking at right now sitting at a 9. You still have both these 2 games this weekend in the Bay Area. Tonight at Santa Clara, and then the one on Saturday it's at the Chase Center, technically speaking, a neutral floor. But both are quad 1 games according to net rankings. So your anticipation, given Mark Few, is that they will understand the assignment and that they will come out and impose their will on this game. Alpha Adama Ball has missed time. I think that's substantial. In particular, in this game, you can get away with that a little bit if you're Santa Clara. In some of these other matchups, Carlos Stewart has played very well. But Alpha Adama Ball, the leading scorer for them, had been dealing with an ankle injury. I don't know his availability tonight, but that would certainly impact the game and how I view it.
Yeah, and I'm guessing we do this every single year. And, Sean, we have like 90 seconds left here. but Gonzaga is currently like on that 8-9 line. The teams with them in that spot, New Mexico, UConn, Creighton, BYU, Utah State, they feel to me like they're super dangerous 8-9 teams this year.
There are, and part of that is because of where we were at the very start of the season. If you go back to the preseason poll and you look at the national rankings, Kansas, number 1, not ranked. Number 3, UConn, not ranked. Number 6, Gonzaga, not ranked. Number 8, Baylor, not ranked. North Carolina, not ranked. Those are 5 teams in the top 10 that aren't even ranked in the top 25 as we sit here at the end of February. And a lot of that has to do with the transfer portal, how guys have fit into roles or have not fit into roles, and subsequently leading to some inconsistencies out on the floor.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, that was awesome. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for the time.
No worries, guys. Have a good show.
There you go. Sean Farnham, Dynamite with the coverage on ESPN with college basketball. He's going to be out here in Las Vegas for the West Coast. And then right after that, he's going to go to the Big 12 tournament as well for like 4 days.
The SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 tournaments are going to be crazy.
Oh, so good. So good. We're going to be alive on the air for most of it that week. Win, lose up next. We have to discuss what happened last night in the Oklahoma City game. First time in history of the league, a team came back and won in the situation the Wolves were in. Details on that next here on VSiN.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour lined up as we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. We will get into tonight's basketball card in 15 minutes. Do you concur? At the bottom of the hour, and Mel Kiper put out a new mock draft today, and DraftKings has more props up as we get closer to that event in April. We shall discuss a little bit later on here. We go best bets on the PGA Tour at the Cognizant Classic as Jeff Seeley joins the program now. Follow him on X. He is at Cupmaker Jeff. Podcast as well called the Cupmaker Podcast. Jeff, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm great, fellas. Ready to begin the Florida swing at PGA National this week. So, we've got the formerly known as the Honda Classic, now the Cognizant Classic, and it's a really interesting field this week, guys. We have 33 guys between 20 and 60 to 1, the lowest odds being 20 to 1. We never see an odds board like this.
Do you like events like this when the odds board looks like it does?
Yeah, I really do, because, I mean, in my mind, there are a handful of guys who are clear favorites. And how often can you get a guy that you consider a clear favorite in a golf tournament at 20 to 1, right? So I think it's remarkable that we've got it's just a great opportunity. So there's some guys even at the bottom of the board. I'm happy. I think you could realistically bet all 5 of the favorites and find a winner at 20 to 1. That's worth considering.
Can you tell us a little bit about how unique this course is?
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, there's nothing in terms of distance that's really that crazy. The thing that's tough on this hole is you have to lay up a ton, and there's water on 15 of the 18 holes. So this is not your typical, a lot of PGA courses are just bombs away, kind of like it was in Mexico last week. This week, you're laying up, and you're really looking at guys who can hit a 130-yard wedge shot and then make a putt. And so it's not overly complicated. It's just hit the fairway, hit wedges, make putts, and that's why you can see a wide variety of guys win here. So I'm just looking for guys who, number one, have had some experience here and had some history here. You can see some guys who have been very successful here, and other guys who had no success at all. I'm obviously leading with the forward, so but the water, obviously, great equalizer. You can find a lot of double bogeys out here if you're not careful.
Okay, I'm going to go back to what you said a couple of moments ago. Again, based on this stat alone with the odds board, 33 golfers are between 20 and 60 to 1. But you said there are a couple of clear favorites in the field this week. Who are they?
Yeah, first of all, guys, I mean, Russell Henley's 22 to 1. I'm happy to take him at that price. He has 2 top 10s here in the last 5 years. Grades out number 1 in about any model you're going to run. He was 13th here in 2013. I mentioned course history. 13th in 2013, won it in 14, 24th in 18, 20th in 19, 8th in 20, 3rd in 21, where he gained 8 strokes putting, and then he gained 7 strokes putting here last year. So he's gained with his irons in 14 15 of his last 16 events. Add that with the putter as well as he's been putting here. I think that Henley is in a really, really good spot, 22-1. My favorite bet of the week, bar none, is Russell Henley top 20. You can get him at plus 110. No, that's not like anything super exciting or crazy, but I think that's a terrific bet and a very safe one.
How about your guy Sepp Straka? What are you doing with him?
Man, guys, it's really hard to find someone who started the year better than Sepp Straka. Now he's 25-1. All he's done so far is have two top 20s, a top 10, and a win in 6 events. So in 4 of his last 6 events, he's been inside the top 20 with a win. And now we get him in a course where he won 3 years ago and finished top 5 in 2023. So I think we're actually getting a little bit of a discount here because of the horrible week he had last week. If you throw it out last week, he gained an average of 4 shots on approach in 2025. He gained 7 strokes on approach here in 2023, 9 strokes tee degree here in 2022 when he won. I'm going to ladder Straka this week. I'm going to look at 20, 10, top 5, and outright. I'm certainly in the markets that offer each way books. I'm going to play some each way there. Love Sepp Straka this week.
Yeah, based on his play this year, don't you think that he should almost be the shortest shot on the board?
I absolutely think he should, Mitch. And again, he's close to it, right? Shortest is 20. He's 25 or so. But, yeah, anything north of 20, I think, is a great bet on Sepp Straka this week. And we'll talk about a few more guys. I mean, Billy Horschel, guys. Billy Horschel's played this event 12 times, finished 9th last year, and has 2 more top 10s and 2 more top 20s. We're getting a discount on him, I feel like, because he struggled the last 2 weeks, coming off back-to-back missed cuts. But I think this number is like 35-1 if this was played in the second week of February, where he's coming off a 21st and a 9th place finish. So if you build a model and just look at players who've had the best success with their wedges and putter at this course, just those 2 factors, Billy Horschel comes in number 2. Luke Donald's number 1, if you're curious. He's in terrible form. Billy Ho's in good form. 50-1, I think, makes a tremendous outright flyer and a really good top 20 play. And then, guys, there's a guy named Ryan Gerard who is not going to be known to many casual golf fans, but he's sneaking up the leaderboards, and I think now is really time for us to start paying attention. He just earned his tour card in 2025, and he already has 3 top 20s in his last 5 events, which is really solid considering he's 25. He's gained on both approach and putting in 5 straight events, so we like to see that coming in. But what's really interesting, guys, is Ryan Gerard actually Monday qualified into this event in 2023 when he was on the Korn Ferry Tour, went on to finish 4th. He was able to parlay that top 5 finish into staying on the tour for the rest of the year in 2023 until he eventually struggled and had to head back to Korn Ferry. But now I feel like he's in good form. He's here to stay. He's been sneaking up the leaderboards. We know his comfort here. 70-1 for Ryan Gerard. Take a hard look at that. And another guy I like a lot as top 20 play.
All right, let's dig deep here. 3 bombs and also what they pay top 20. Give us your 3 bombs.
Yeah, guys, all 3 of these bombs pay plus 350 or better top 20. So shop around. But I like all these guys a lot. Worth some pizza money on the outrights. Adam Svensson was T9 here in 2022. His wedges have been good for most of the past 12 months. If he can find a putter, we could see a really nice result out of him. Sam Ryder, 110-1, has terrific course history here. He locks in his wedges here, coming in at number 1 in the field from 125 to 150 yards at this course. And his putting is also inside the top 20 in the field at this course. Course horse, great play at this price. And my guy, Hollywood Hoagie, guys. Hoagie comes in ranked number 3 from 125 to 150 at this course. If his putter cooperates, we know Hoagie can make birdies in a hurry. I think it's going to be a shootout this week. I think we're going to see a 20 under or so win again, as long as the wind doesn't pick up. Hoagie's a guy who can make birdies. 120-1 on a ball striker as good as Hoagie. I absolutely love it.
Very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Jeff Seeley. Follow him on X at Cupmaker Jeff. His podcast is also called the Cupmaker Podcast, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. We're talking about the Cognizant Open this week on the PGA Tour. Where would you rank Brian Campbell's shot to eventually win the Mexico Open that ricocheted off the trees in terms of overall luck, like anything that you've ever seen before?
No. I mean, not in a shootout to win a PGA Tour event, right? I mean, yeah, in the course of, a regular round, things happen, and that could easily happen, to anybody in any given round. It's happened to anybody who's played golf has had that happen. But to have it happen in a shootout where obviously your nerves are heightened, he just got nervous and just freaking sprayed a drive, and to get that lucky and then to hit his 3-wood to a perfect wedge position, hit his wedge to 4 feet. I mean, you had to feel bad for Potgier because it's like, man, you had to think he was over, right? As soon as you saw that drive going right, you're like, well, that was all I got to do is not mess this up. But no, it was incredible, and I've watched a lot of golf. That was as lucky as I've seen. I mean, it made for good TV, and what a story for that guy too, right? I mean, I think he said like 130 or 140 starts and never won a tournament between Korn Ferry and PGA. So really happy for the guy. I mean, you'll see Potgier get back there. He'll be fine. But this guy may never win a tournament again. So good story. Yeah. Man, was it. But no, you're never going to see anything like that.
Good to talk to you. Hope we see you for the Masters. They're doing a viewing party at the pool out here. And hope to see you. Talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
Can't wait, fellas. Take care.
All right, Jeff Seeley, the man.
He's right. That golf tournament was over with.
Yeah, he won $1.2 million, too, as a result.
Pretty good purse.
Yeah, right.
The Mexico Open, I think the overall purse was $7 million.
That's nuts.
Yeah, they've gone up substantially over the years. Thanks, Tiger.
Yep. Good hockey card tonight, too. I want to point out a couple because the guys are working hard with the goal in the first 10 in the first period overs. Dallas is on a 14-2 run. St. Louis 12-2, Toronto 15-3. First period overs, Edmonton 12-2 run, Ottawa 13-3 under run. Buffalo has played 15 straight overs in the second period. Montreal 16-2. Third period overs, Kings 10 in a row, Rangers 10 of 11. And goal in the first 10 at home, Minnesota 8 in a row. Overall, Toronto 23-5 run, goal in the first 10. A lot of teams in action. I'll have more of these in pocket as well. And
15 straight. What is it?
That's Buffalo.
Buffalo. So I'm looking right now.
Second period over. What are we talking? $1.80 juice?
It's $1.86.
Okay. Yeah. I think 15 in a row.
I wonder.
You guys won't hesitate to lay that in a baseball game coming up.
Well, I'm curious. So, do you bet that? Because I really have never done that before. Do you bet that before the game, or do you wait till it unfolds for a number in play?
Before the game.
Before the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah. That's the way I attack it. Sports betting never slows down, neither should you. NBA, NHL in full swing. Playoffs right around the corner. Masters, March Madness, opening day, draft, $9.99. Start betting smarter with a VSiN Pro subscription. The daily email from Bill 80, every pick, every host, every guest. Full access today, $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe.
I'm looking at the website right now. It's awesome. It's updated as stories post. UFC 103, Lou Finicaro. His best bets just posted. Jonathan Davis on the entire NHL card tonight.
A lot of picks.
Best bets from Adam Burke, college basketball, Zach Cohen on the NBA. You get a little bit of everything every day at VSiN.com. We will get into tonight's hoops card up next. It's the definition of hopping in early because everybody was going to bet it, forcing numbers to be on the move.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. Kings took out the Knights in the third period. Outscored them 4-0. 5-2 final game goes over. That's a winner. Houston also a winner against Texas Tech. Eclectic mix here within pocket. All the new stuff. Boise State tomorrow, 3.5 against Utah State at home. Aztecs, $1.40 on the money line tonight at home against the Lobos. Edmonton, Tampa, first period over. Edmonton is on a 12-2 overrun in the first period. And since that, they've given up a ton of goals here in the first 2 games back from the break. Dallas, Columbus, goal in the first 10. Yes, minus 145. Dallas on a 14-2 run. Goal in the first 10. This is at Caesars. Warriors to win the Pacific. 5-1.
Wow.
Easy schedule the rest of the way. They're 6 back in the loss column. But remember, and I like this Laker team. They got a lot of games close to it because they've got to make up for the cancellations and what happened with the fires. Plus, they have a tough schedule in March. The Warriors have an easy schedule the rest of the way. And they're, reinvigorated and juiced up now with Butler coming to town. I think 5-1's worth a shot. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. Had a winner last night, Houston money line, laid minus 132. That was when we were on the air. That shot up to, I think, minus 235 after it was announced that Texas Tech would be without some of their key dudes. Good to be back on the winning side of things here, by the way, because it was a bad stretch when you were gone. Real bad. Tonight, 3-player props. And I had, like some others on the network here have admitted, they have a blind spot for unders when it comes to player props. As a lifelong fantasy player, I do as well. I look for positive matchups, so that's what we're going to war with tonight. In the Spurs-Pelicans game, I'm going Keldon Johnson over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I laid minus 121 with that. All these picks up on the picks page at vsin.com when I made them. Since Wemby went down, right? Somebody's going to step up, play more minutes, get more usage. Johnson's numbers, 26 minutes per game, 20.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists. That comes up to 27 per game. That's all on 10.3 shots per game. Same game tonight. Not going to do a parlay. I'm betting these two straight. Derek White's been awesome to his numbers this year. Over 36 in 18. When the number is 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which it is tonight. He's had 2 clunkers against Toronto. My big concern here. Great recent form, though. 35, 35, and 28 PRA in his last 3 games. We're going to do it tonight again, which should be a high-scoring affair. And in that same game, R.J. Barrett has been awesome. Only 4 games in February, missed some time. But in those 4 games, he's averaging 25 points, 5.5 assists, and 4.5 rebounds. Actually, I'll round up to 5 rebounds. Barrett had 22, 10, and 8 against the Celtics on January 15th and 25, 15, and 10. That game went to overtime, but that flew over the number. That was back on November 16th. I played over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 112.
Go get them. Let's see. Never slows down. NBA, NHL playoffs, the madness, championship week, NFL draft, free agency. All coming up. Don't place your bets unprepared. For as little as $9.99, you get that email every morning with every play, every host, every guest, expert analysis, the insights. You're right about you get lost up on the website. There's so much up there. Nigel with the soccer, Makinen with his trends, Cohen and Burke, MLB previews, college basketball picks as well, the NBA prop analyzer. Wes Reynolds has all his golf picks up there right now. $9.99. Join the team. vsin.com/subscribe. I cannot believe the 76ers. I can't. Down 50 at home to the Bulls last night. Oh, I couldn't believe it. And that's a hostile environment.
Well,
now it might be working against them now to be at home. They're on an 0-9 ATS run. They're on a 1-11 run, a 1-12 run as a home favorite, and now they've lost 8 in a row. And now they're 2.5 games back of the Bulls. To think title hopes, we got our big 3, max for Paul George, gave all that money to Embiid with the extension, 20 and 37. Oh,
well,
God.
I mean, so I kind of can believe it. And
down 50?
It's the NBA. I mean,
at
some point,
the Bulls stink, though.
Look what happened. What's more unlikely, that to happen or OKC to blow a 25-point late second-half lead last night? More unlikely is that.
Yeah.
I mean, the 76ers are waving the white flag here. Now I hate myself for coming back with a hedge on them to make the playoffs.
Oh, but if you bet them, they went from 2.5 to 6.
Well, sure.
Vucevic went out.
Okay, so do you not have to? How do you not just draw? We talked about this yesterday on the show. I want nothing to do with that team. How do you not draw a line through them? Mm-hmm. Like they can't even be a consideration moving forward. They can't. How are they going to take money? They might, because pro bettors are going to do. Hey, my numbers say this, but at some point you just have to say, man, they are a dumpster fire right now, going in the exact opposite direction. The players don't want to be there. Embiid probably won't come back and play this year. Paul George is having a terrible season.
Yep.
So it's like, what do they have to play for? Did they have a conversation of like, this is it, guys. We're not going to win any more games because we got to keep that top 6 pick that's protected. There's another. How about this? Longtime friend of the show, Ian McDonald. He sent me a great breakdown on why he thinks the Charlotte Hornets to get the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, they did it again last night.
Plus 550, not awful. And if you're a little bit, if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, maybe there's something here. Like, can you name a more irrelevant major franchise across North America than the Charlotte Hornets?
Good discussion.
I think they're for like not just this year. I'm talking about.
Had Michael Jordan as their owner, still stunk.
Sure,
couldn't get anyone.
Like nobody cares about them.
Yeah,
I know fans of the Wizards. I know fans of the A's. Yeah, Tim Murray here on the network. Stanford Steve. That's two right there.
Wizards had Beal and Wall and made a couple playoffs.
Sure, yeah,
it's Charlotte. I think it's Charlotte. Yeah,
but I'm talking hockey, baseball, NFL. It doesn't matter.
That's a good one.
I think this is the team at the top of the list.
Yeah, and
now they have Cooper Flagg playing 10 minutes from Charlotte or whatever it is, and so.
We've seen shenanigans, lottery night.
Sure we have. And like, what better way to potentially put some juice into this organization for the first time ever than, hey, Cooper Flagg can drum up some excitement.
And maybe they're going for it, getting beat by 50 and 40.
Well, that ties into it as well. Hey guys, we don't want to win anymore. And how'd the Lakers lose to them? What the hell was that?
Luka didn't play well, and Reeves got kicked out of the game when they were up double digits. I don't know. Weird stuff happens sometimes in the association.
So what's more improbable then? This team losing back-to-back games by like 50 points, the Sixers being down 50 as a 6-point favorite, or OKC blowing that game last night? You know that money line was off the board, and I expected that.
Yeah.
And then when they reposted, when the Wolves started to make a run, it got like 20-1, I think.
Gosh.
Luke just sent us somebody's out there. Julian Edlow tweeted this, actually.
Somebody's out there.
There's a receipt. Somebody put $400 on Thunder minus 1,000 to win the game live.
Yeah, I would have won a cup of coffee.
Sure.
I can't believe the implosion. To be up 15 with 3:45 and not score the rest of the game is nuts.
And then the Wolves pulled their starters? Again, I'm saying that like question mark. That's what I was told. That's what I heard anyway, because I gave up on the game.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up on it at the end of the third quarter. Like, well, this one's
nuts. All-timer.
Yeah,
never happened before. To be down that much against a team that's elite, that's never happened before in NBA history.
So, like 20 minutes later, I go to my one app, and I see it's tied at like 121 to go to overtime, and they outscored them 41-19 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, that can't be right. My app's got to have it. It's glitching right now on me. I went to another app. Sure as you know what, in overtime, 121 apiece. I'm like, what on earth just happened?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to go. I read the box score after the game was over with. I was laughing out loud.
I thought it was a mistake in the fourth quarter as well. Did Dennis Bernstein say the Capitals were fugazi when you talked to him? Did you go down that road, or was it all USA Canada when you talked to him?
I think it was. We never brought up the Capitals.
He says Washington's fugazi. I'm buying.
Ooh.
Between Thompson and Net and what they're doing offensively.
Text Jeff Davis.
Oh yeah,
I think he might.
$1.80 tonight against Calgary. That's it. And I wouldn't want to play him.
Would you lay $1.70 right now that Ovechkin's going to break the record this year?
The way he's running, yeah.
Nah, they're getting him. They're specifically going out there and saying, if you can get 15 shots on goal, go ahead and take them.
But I think, but that's going to be fun with the playoffs. I know we were talking during the break. Could we get I wouldn't mind Toronto, Edmonton, Winnipeg in the Final Four. To see if Canada can end the drought, and that could happen. But that's, are you sick and tired of Dallas? Is it be nice to get some different teams in there. God forbid Toronto does something and wins a game. Edmonton was this close. Winnipeg's won 10 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
They made the conference finals one year and Vegas upset them. But
you can bet that here again on multiple books.
Yeah.
Who's going to win it this year, USA or Canada?
It's a great prop.
Owner, CEO of Circa, Derek Stevens, up next. And he is coming fully loaded. A big announcement that we're super excited about here on the network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We are loaded here. A lot to get into with our next guest making his weekly appearance. We love having him in studio. He is the owner and the CEO of Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. It's Derek Stevens. Good to see you today. How are you?
Good to see you guys. All good. All good. Weather's great. Spring has sprung here in Las Vegas. I was just up at Stadium Swim today. You know, we were supposed to go to the spring hours until next week. Well, it's been so beautiful. Yesterday, it was so full, we had to open up the whole thing.
Did you really?
We're rolling.
So I was walking down Fremont Street before the show started yesterday, 11:30-ish. I could not believe how many people were downtown in shorts, drinking beer, and they were going up to Stadium Swim at that time. I'm like, oh, clearly the best day of the year weather-wise. And I looked earlier during the show. We touched 80 today downtown.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's unbelievable. I was up there earlier today just to kind of check things out at Stadium Swim. You know, we're going to these weekday hours, so the whole lower section's open. Yeah, there's not a seat available. It's awesome. It's Tuesday.
Can we say who was there yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I wasn't here yesterday. I didn't know about it either until it happened. But yeah, the word's out on the street. He was having a party.
Go ahead.
What, the Bruno Mars was here?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, he just kind of snuck in and hung out with a bunch of his friends.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got the text. I got the text yesterday. Hey, just so you know, Bruno Mars was here. I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but I did not realize he is very good personal friends with a couple of people that work at Stadium Swim.
Oh.
And first time down, he enjoyed it. He said he was going to come back. Had a great time. And then he did something at Pinky Ring, a little private deal at Pinky Ring over at Bellagio later that evening.
All right.
Excellent.
There's a special elevator for somebody like him?
Yeah, but I think he just rolled in with his crew.
And he walked right through the casino?
I think he just walked right in.
He had security, they said, but that makes
he had
sense.
his own security, of course. But no, I think he just people forget. I mean, everybody's still a regular person. Want to chill out with your buddies? That's all that.
Well, he's a pretty big deal, man.
That's a big deal, yeah.
He's awesome.
Do you know Randy Couture? You know him, right?
Yeah.
I interviewed him one time, and it was like a Thursday morning. This is when like the Expendables is coming out too. Not to mention the UFC, but he's a movie star.
Yeah.
He just rolls up in a motorcycle, comes in to do the interview. I go, what? Is it? Oh, no. Why would I have an entourage? He was like pissed off.
All by himself.
I was stunned. He just rolled up in a motorcycle. Okay, let's talk. Let's promote stuff.
And then,
Randy's like that.
Yeah, cool guy.
But, I mean, Randy also, though. I mean, he didn't really need it. He doesn't really need protection.
That's true. Good point.
But he's a very, very down to earth guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
He put me in a rear naked choke. You know, how long do you think it took me to tap out?
Oh God, I've been in a rear naked choke a couple times at the bar on purpose. We did it for video, but I was like, what is going on here? Yeah.
Oh, they work.
Yeah.
Oh man.
100% they work.
I was terrified.
If applied correctly, you can knock somebody out in like 2 seconds. That's absolute truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I never got to that point. I was doing it for media and pictures and stuff like that.
Sure.
But, yeah.
My buddy, who was a really good high school wrestler, used to do that at like parties.
Oh.
And so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So but people would volunteer. Do me next. He'd come up right behind him.
Put him out. Totally put him out.
2 seconds later.
Oh God.
Done. Yes.
Oh man.
True story. So, we'll tie in Bruno Mars' appearance yesterday to a big announcement that you have here at Circa and here at VSiN.
Yes. After quite a bit of work put in by the VSiN team and the Circa team, we are going to announce something very, very special. I'm very excited about it. This is a package that you will be able to buy, and it's called Beyond the Booth. And what it is, it's an opportunity to get into a package where you can hang out with your favorite Las Vegas people, Mitch and Paul, right here, right next to me, right here. This is the deal where you can get a Stadium Swim cabana, and you can hang out with Mitch and Paulie. You've heard them talk about our cabanas at Stadium Swim. You're going to be able to go to the VSiN website and go to Beyond the Booth. And what'll come up will be a form. It'll take you to a Circa site. Fill out your name, email, phone number, and your preferred dates. You guys were so generous to put out a handful of dates, all orientated around some very great sporting events here. So I think Sunday of March Madness. I think all 4 days of Sweet 16 weekend. Then we're getting into April. We got Masters involved here, and then we're going to get NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. And it's a package where you're going to be able to hang out with both of you guys as long as you've got availability. If only one of you does, it's with one of you. But all the information is going to be put together, and our team's going to reach out with you. And you get to go beyond the booth. You get to hang out with your heroes here, Mitch and Paul, talk about gambling, hang out with your buddies. This is like, stadium swim, show and tell, best thing you could ever dream of, and hanging out with you guys. And you guys get to meet a lot of new friends. Listeners, fans.
And by the way, you're talking about open dates. We're pretty much here, right, for the whole calendar year, whenever.
Yep.
For big events, we're going to be around. So.
Yep. I can't thank you enough for this. And also, I reached out to your guy, David Rossborough, and I said, let's get Sydney in here and with some of the gals to show off as well with the great gals who work here at the best pool in the world. But it means the world to us all. Remember, we go back to the early days, 6-7 years ago, when you guys would drive all the way down to the South Point at 4 a.m. just to say hello and meet us. So you're the reason the show's so successful and been around. And to think you can do this and hang with us. Sean does it all the time. Nish, Schwartzy, Tammy, Evan. So it's right up there. It's professionally done. It's A+ by this whole crew and this resort. So we'd love to hang out at the best pool in the world. And Sunday, March 23rd, Thursday, March 27th, the first dates that are available. Go up there now, and they tweeted it out on X, but CircleLasVegas.com. Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Yeah, awesome job. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. I'll tell you what, on the days, you just mentioned a lot of your friends that you had days with up at Stadium Swim. And, I've got a text from you guys, and I popped up to meet, and I've got to meet a lot of these guys. And I love it. So, now we're kind of formalizing this. I think a lot of people probably never knew that somehow, is there a way to get a hold of you? Is there a way to do something like this? Now there is. So I think everybody's going to be pretty excited to have a good day of sports, hanging out with you guys, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
I will say that the new hours contribute to us having more opportunities now. Because before, when we were on from 4 until 7 in the morning out here local time, look, I would love to go out there and hang until 9 o'clock at night watching NBA playoff games. A little bit difficult to do when you have a show coming up a few hours after that. So now it's anything goes pretty much the entire time, the entire year.
Yeah, terrific.
And
I'm
like you
excited
said, the weather already out here is incredible. By the way, the drawings here that we're looking at and what they tweeted out,
they did a good job
pretty
with
solid
this.
Here.
Yes, right?
Yeah. Look at that. They even got the sides of my hair completely gray. That's absolutely fact. True. They gave us too many muscles, though, I think. We look... I
got to get back in the gym.
More buff here than what we actually are at this point.
I know. It was a good job, though. VSiN.com/BeyondTheBooth. Circle Las Vegas, if you want to come out and hang out, book a room, get that discount, too, for 15% off VSiN 15. VSiN.com/BeyondTheBooth. How awesome was USA Canada, and what did it do for business?
Oh, man, volume was terrific. It was terrific. Book sold out. The crowd was it was amazing. It was amazing how the NHL did such an incredible job during this time period. At the same point in time, the NBA, it kind of flopped the way that thing played out.
Absolutely, it did. Fell on its face again.
But the energy of what transpired, obviously, we're in a political time period that added to it. Keith Tkachuk and his two boys are all-American heroes. Those guys had a lot to do with this thing. Having Brady and Matthew Tkachuk doing what they did, pretty amazing. It was terrific for the book. It was great volume, great handle. It was exciting. It was good.
How random is this? The very first NHL jersey I ever purchased, I want to say it was in the mid to late 90s, an old Phoenix Coyotes Keith Tkachuk jersey, the one that had 17 different colors to it. It was all over the map. I loved it when I was younger. I still have it somewhere tucked away. I don't know where it's at. I wanted to wear it on the show on Friday. After that game, I couldn't find it, but that's an oldie but a goodie, I would say.
That was an oldie, but that was after he had the great career with St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say it was like when he was the timeline there, I don't remember exactly. It probably was. It had to be, right? Because when did Phoenix become a franchise?
Yeah. I remember when Keith Tkachuk, I grew up as a Red Wings fan. And, boy, Keith Tkachuk was a tough guy when he was playing on the Blues. He was a tough guy to beat.
Sure. Bar Canada was awesome that night.
Okay, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, bet that was some atmosphere.
The Saturday game, though, before that, though, from what everybody was saying, was like all-time good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll continue with Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of Circa Resort and Casino, coming up next. What is his advice for pressing after hitting a $20,000 jackpot? We'll ask him coming up next.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.